if wait till people join. They pointed up at the R2 and get interested. See if anyone's paying attention.
Is that you?
I'll hold it for now.
Oh, there you go.
Alright, let me start because it'll get recorded.
Okay.
Hey everyone, Pedro here with CineMilled, and I'm going to give you guys a look at the Ronin-2 on a Steadicam, what we're calling Steadicam mode, and basically it kind of emulates what you could previously do with the AR Revolution, which is rotate your camera from low to high in a horizontal fashion. And it also does similar to what a Trinity does, which is it goes forward, and you know you can also in the future control with the phone controller. So let me give you a closer look. So first of all, you know, one of the big things here is we mounted the Steadicam to we mounted the Ronin-2 to the Steadicam using our CineMilled universal mount, and the good thing about this mount is it'll also let you to interface with the older Ronin-1 mount. And you can go on Mitchell mount and all this kind of stuff. But the most important thing is you can put your Ronin-2 on any device. And so here we go, it's on the Steadicam. The big change that is really allowing you to do all these new things with the Ronin-2 on a Steadicam is the mechanical axis lock. So on the Ronin-2, all three axes have a mechanical pin that stops the axis from moving. And this is obviously good for balancing. You can quickly balance your gimbal if the axes are, you're not fighting everything. You can lock two of them, balance one axis, lock that one, unlock the other one, and get your gimbal balanced really quickly. That's a great new feature. But on top of that, it essentially has a two-axis mode. So once you enable it and you lock the pan motor shuts off. And currently, right now, they even have an additional locking mechanism, so there's no play whatsoever, and it's completely locked. And what this allows you is, previously, if you've ever put a gimbal on your Steadicam, one of the first things that you notice is there's a deadband zone, basically a difference between where you pan and how fast the gimbal catches up. So that's now gone because you're now mechanically locked into the pan mode. So this is obviously a huge deal because now you can, for example, you can whip pan with a gimbal. Like if you have it in your hand, you can literally whip it around because it's mechanically locked in the pan. And so you can whip pan. Now when you apply that mechanically locked pan to a Steadicam, you essentially get now a poor man's AR Revolution or a Trinity. Now, I say that, but really, you could pretty much do anything you could do with an AR or anything you could do with the Trinity, especially once they release the thumb controller mod. And so the only other thing that you're going to need to figure out, because remembering you're going to see me rotate this thing in all sorts of different ways, is the monitor mount. So, you know, what happens with the monitor when it's swinging around. So with the monitor, you can see here we have this essentially free swinging monitor mount, which once you put your monitor on here, it's bottom heavy, so it's kind of an inexpensive way to give yourself a 360 rotating monitor. And is it perfect? Maybe not so perfect, but it's a cheap way to get working in this new Steadicam mode. And of course you can lock it out so that it doesn't rotate. But so let me get into it. The other thing I should talk about is the power. So the Ronin has built-in detachable battery module that goes right here. Now the interesting thing is if you're doing crane work, you can detach the battery module and put it on the arm of the crane, for example. In this case, there is SDI in, so that's how I'm getting the video to my monitor. Is you have SDI in, there's a slip ring in here, and you also have LEMO power in. So you can externally, that's how we're externally feeding the Ronin-2 battery pack. So the Ronin-2 battery pack uses the same batteries that you would find on the new Inspire 2. They're intelligent batteries, they're self-heated, they'll work when the temperature is really cold, and it's going to have various mounting positions, and you can maybe even in the future here we're going to click it into the Anton Bauer mount, And so right here, we made something work for today, but that's going to get figured out fairly soon. So let me get into showing you now what you can do with this new Steadicam mode. So what you couldn't do before with pretty much any gimbal out there besides the Lettuce is a 360 rotation. So with this new Ronin-2, you have about a 380-degree circle that you can rotate your Ronin-2. And so if we start right here, that's 180. Right there is about 360, and we're past 360, and then right there we're going to hit the end. So the interesting thing now is, of course, you can go from low to high. There you go. You can go really high and look down on people. So let's spiral them over. Yeah. So once again, like I was saying, you can now whip pan the Ronin because it's mechanically locked. So obviously for a Steadicam operator, that's a really big deal because you have direct control over the framing, just like you normally do with the Steadicam. So that's really, really important. And once again, you can see here the monitor mount, how it's rotating along, staying level as I move through the rotation zone.
By the end of the job, like the night we ran.
So when you're down here, the gimbal's in follow track mode, so you can look up at somebody. You can, of course, look down. And best of all, of course, you can pan any which way you want. And so the next thing I'm going to show and talk to you about is the other mode, right? So right now, we went what I call horizontally, right? Like an AR Revolution. So the next thing we can do is when you dock here real quick. And so if you see here on the back, here, come around. The Ronin-2 has a really nice touchscreen LCD panel, and you can also navigate the menus like this. And I am going to turn off the tilt smooth track right now. So now the tilt smooth track is off. And so what that's going to allow me to do is, no matter where I angle the Steadicam or the R2, it's going to stay level. So in essence, it's going to sort of replicate what you might see on an Arri Trinity. And so let's give that a try. So now you'll see as I tilt down, the camera stays level. And you can see I can now peek into certain places. And when I'm in this mode, let's find two people. You can, by rolling the post, I can control pan. And since it's mechanically locked, I can do a very fast, precise movement. So I'm going to show what that looks like here. So in this mode, once again, no matter what I do, it stays level. So you can see me here going forward, and the camera's staying level. So I can do really low shots. I can raise up. And for example, you can go And then you can even transition into a very high mode. So once again, that was just a quick look at the new Steadicam mode for the R2. Once again, the few things you're going to need to accomplish this is you're going to need the CineMilled universal mount, the R2 universal mount. You're going to need a rotating monitor mount, because or else you'll have to tilt your head. And that's about it. And you're going to need an R2. And so they don't have a ship date for this yet, although it's DJI and they usually ship things fairly soon after they announce. There's also currently no price set, but we do expect it to be reasonably priced and affordable. So this now creates a very powerful combination for any Steadicam operator to play with. Alright, you see it shaking there because I hit the end point. So obviously you have to rotate in the right direction. Alright guys, visit CineMilled.com for more R2 products. Visit the Facebook group. There's a Facebook group now for the CineMilled, or for the DJI Ronin-2, and there's going to be a lot more information, pictures on there, and you can find out when this thing's going to get released and all that good stuff. Alright guys, see you later.